Hey guys, and welcome! My name is Nazna, and today I'll be painting a glass of hot chocolate and telling you guys a really embarrassing story that happened to me. So this story happened about 5 me. I am really super duper shy, and I will do anything that I can to not attract any attention to myself, which usually ends up in me doing something embarrassing and attracting attention to myself. This story takes place in my product design class with one of my best friends. And for those of you who don't know what product design is, you basically design a product for a made-up customer, and then you basically design it, and then after tweaking a lot, you make it at the end. And it's important that you know it's a product design class because they usually set out a bit different to a normal classroom. In this particular classroom, you had a big blocky tall table right at the back, and you had to sit on a stool to be able to work on it. And me and my friend decided it would be great fun to sit there because you're going to be taller than everybody else. When you're at the back of the classroom, it's less likely you get caught by the teacher when you're messing around. We did mess around a bit, but we still ended up finishing our work because the whole not attracting extra attention to myself thing. And this scenario was made worse by me getting out of my comfort zone and starting to talk to others in the class and kind of getting to know them, so they kind of knew who I was. I'm usually not the kind of person who leans back in their chair, and I think you already know where the story is going, and it's not a great place. But in this class, I loved leaning back in the stool and touching the work table behind me, and most of the time it was fine because the stools had this little rubber bit at the bottom, so it would stop the stool from sliding by gripping the floor. And on this day, somebody basically had taken my stool, so I grabbed another one, as you usually do. So I'm sitting there talking to my friend, and I lean back, just having fun. And I knew something was wrong when I started to lose my balance and time slowed down as I slowly saw my death approaching. Because the stool slips underneath me and I crashed to the floor with the loudest crash ever. I don't know how I managed to not break my neck, but I was mostly fine. And that's when I realised that this stool didn't have any rubber grips at the bottom. Of all the stools I could have chosen, I choose the one without any rubber grips. Chair, why did you betray me? I trusted you. I put my life in your hands, and this is how you repay me. So my friend just starts staring at me with a dumbfounded expression on her face. And instead of helping me up, she starts laughing. And what's funny is the whole class was working so silently, and suddenly they hear this really loud crash echo through the room. So of course, as anyone would be, I am mortified, and I want the floor to swallow me whole and take me to a faraway land where they don't know who I am. After a few seconds, I decide that I'm going to stay on the floor and get up after a while when everybody else is distracted again, so they won't see who fell and realize it was me. But because it was a blocky table, my teacher couldn't see me sitting on the floor, and my teacher got really worried, and she's like, "Where did Nazna go? What happened to her? Is she okay?" And at this point I knew I had to get up. So I slowly creep my head over the table and I stand up and I go, "I'm fine, I'm okay." And that's when I see that the whole entire class, so 30 or so of my classmates, are staring right at me. So I tell my teacher that I slipped on my stool and I fell and that I'm fine, and I see some of them start to giggle. So I sit back down with a tomato red face, my dignity crushed into little pieces, and I carry on doing my work till the end of the lesson without making eye contact with anyone. And to put the cherry on the top to this whole embarrassing story, I was walking with my friends to our next lesson later on in the week, and I see this guy from my project design class walking past, and I overhear him telling his friend, "That's the girl I was telling you about who fell in my class," and points straight at me. So it wasn't only my class who knew that it was me that fell, but all their friends too. And after a while, people started to forget, and it wasn't as big as I thought it would be, considering my worst nightmare literally came true. But sometimes it seems worse in your head than it actually is. I'm happy to say, since that day, I've never leaned back in my chair again. I think we have time for another short story where I'm an embarrassment to myself again. And this one basically happened around the same time as the last one, and I was sitting in my classroom where one of my friends sit behind me. And I frequently, if not every lesson, would turn around and talk to her and work with her for any discussions or projects. And sitting next to her was this guy who I didn't know at all. I only knew him from like friends and like seeing him walk across the playground. On this fateful day, I was turning around and my friend goes, "Take your glasses off. I want to see what you look like without them." A fun fact about me is that I wear glasses because I have this thing called astigmatism, which means my eyeballs, instead of being a sphere, they're kind of an oval shape. So because of that, I can't wear coloured contacts because they can't be dyed, but I can usually wear normal ones. So I take my glasses off and the guy next to my friend goes, "Oh, you look really nice without glasses. You should start wearing contacts more often." Me being the self-conscious, shy little bean I am, who can't take a compliment to save her life, I say really loudly, "I have rugby eyeballs. I can't wear contacts." And I just turn around and sit there with my embarrassment for the rest of the lesson. And I didn't talk to either of them until our next lesson. What was I thinking? What were you thinking, Nazna? Like, I don't understand. Who says I have rugby eyeballs and just turns around without any explanation? He probably thought I was either delusional, maybe that I was crazy, and I thought my eyes were actually made of rugby balls or something. Oh my god, I can't. And years later, when I asked my friend if she remembered that scenario, yeah, she definitely did remember. What have we learned from this? Don't lean back in your stool until you've checked it has rubber bits at the bottom. And don't scream that you have rugby eyes when somebody tries to compliment you. These things will keep popping up to me like in the weirdest time. I'll be sleeping and it will be like, "Pop, do you remember when you were so dumb in year 10? I'll be like, "Great brain, thanks. Can I go to sleep now? Bye." So anyways, thank you guys for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. And if you've enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any embarrassing stories of your own that you want to share, leave it in the comments below. And if you want to see any more videos from me and any future stories that I might tell, click that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys again next time. Have a great day. Bye.